Hi there, it's Paulie here. So, look, in the way back when I was heading off to the USA, sort of in the mid 80s, to Gencon, I had my game Albedo out and later on put out Lace and Steel. So I would go and I would run, a little old table and I would have my wares there. So, people had a chance to see these things from far off Australia. And yeah, those cons are wild. Now, at that time, I had not ever been to the USA. So these were my first trips. And yeah, coming into the USA as someone from, civilization is, yeah, it's a shock. Not in the good way. But yeah, so we would turn up. Now, there's a couple of other Australian gamers who would all travel with me. We decided we'd all go. I think a chap called Andrew Penny, a guy called Steve Carey, and we would turn up there, and then we would split off and go our own separate ways to different conventions. So I found you could go to Gencon, you could go to like San Diego Comic Con the next weekend, you could then go to like the World Science Fiction Con the weekend after that. So we could go over for like 4 weeks, and I think we could do like 3 cons in 4 weeks. Take a little bit of a break. Andrew didn't. More of that later. But so, yeah, turn up at Gen Con. Now, I'd done Albedo. The artist of Albedo is a lovely, lovely chap, Steve Galacci. And he had said he will meet us at the con, share the hotel room and all this sort of stuff. And, so the artist will get to meet people and everything as well. Fantastic. So we've just got the hotel and, all right, we've turned up there early. We turn on American TV. Now, there's stuff on American TV that it doesn't exist in the rest of the world. And so there's we found some channel that had American televangelists on. So there's basically thieves on television attempting to basically scam people out of their money because, they can somehow have two-way conversations with, invisible entities. So it's like, hell no. But it was hilarious, the hard sell of these people. But then it gets to their ad breaks. And the ad breaks were even worse. You'll get a waving American flag. Superimposed over that, an American eagle. And then superimposed in a corner will be, George Washington's face and a voice, Hern of the Hern will tell you, a great American is being wronged, a true patriot, a blurdy-beady-bee. What the hell is this? And it's but you can defend this great American by sending money to this defense fund to stop this person's name being dragged through the muck. Oliver North. It was a defense fund for Oliver North. They're begging money to fling at this guy, and Steve Galacci comes in and finds us just rolling around on the ground with laughter. What's so funny? This stuff, this is amazing. This is absolutely amazing. That's not funny. That's serious. We know. That's what makes it so funny. Oh my god. But yeah, we get into the convention area now. Of course, Australians and of all Australians, me. Operate on a looser interpretation of rules than everybody else, so it just started hammering down with rain outside. I've got my boxes and stuff, and I'd met a very nice gamer who may be watching. Hi, Scott. And yeah, talented artist and everything, but he wanted to go. We're just talking, and we just head for the trade floor, which con doesn't open till the next day, but I'm carrying stuff in to put on the table and so on. And he's got some friends somewhere inside there, I think he was helping out our Talsorian games at the time, but he doesn't have a dealer's badge or anything. But yeah, we walk up and there's security guy there, and he stops us because friend doesn't have a security badge, and I'm sorry, you can't go in there. You don't have a trader's badge. And so I just automatically just said, this gentleman's my assistant, and the security, oh, okay, oh, well, that's all right then, through you go. And I dragged this guy in, and he's just mortified. You can't say that. What? No, you just lied to a security guy. Yeah, all my life. What's your problem with that? I'm not your assistant. Oh, aren't you? Here, hold this. I just pass a paper to him. What? What? Good. Now you're assisting me. Come on, let's go find your friends. Oh God, the setting up there. There was a distributor at the time. Now I'm not going to try and fat shame, but yeah, opposite us there was this giant float, like a whole island of tables, which is lined out, and a truck backs in, and out of this just came this girl, and she looked so tired you just wanted to throw your arms around her. She just looked so world weary. And she's got two kind of roadies come over to help her, and she starts wheeling out equipment which goes in the middle of this empty middle of this island. Tables and more tables, and on the tables there's actually gas cylinders and a full gas stove, microwaves, pots, pans, fry pans, fridge, freezer, deep fryers, and just tub after tub after tub of stuff. Like, is this catering? No. This was one of the distributors, Balboa Distributors. Once that thing goes away, another truck comes in, and busy people come out, and they basically set up all the stuff this distributor handles, because they're selling a bunch of stuff. Finally, this bus comes in and wheels out these guys who ran this business, and they were immense. They were riding like electric carts. They were so huge that they could no longer stand up. This poor girl's full-time job was just cooking full-time to just feed to these guys, and it was a full-time job. She's got something in the oven, on the skillet, in the microwave at any given time. So like, she's doing them fried chicken, and now they're eating the fried chicken. Okay, she's doing them, drop scones, or she's baking a cake, or she's doing cupcakes, or she's frying bacon, or she's got a pie, or or she's doing a roast chicken, and it was just dun 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 dun. We went out with her afterwards. You do some cool stunts, like the Australians, we got kind of the reputation as being kind of the fun people to have turn up, and because we didn't mind doing wacky shit. So someone did a game called Tales of Floating Vagabond, which was all about a sort of a pub that goes from dimension to dimension to dimension, and so on. And these guys are doing a launch of the game, so they asked us, can you please could you start a brawl for us? We've got a whole pub and everything set up there. We've got candy glass. We've got balsa wood chairs that can smash over people. We've got tables and things. Can you turn up and start like a fake barroom brawl? Like, I heard you're a martial artist. This is stuff. Yeah. I can definitely do that. It was kind of a weird tribute to the convention that we did this in the middle of the convention floor. Bottles, we're playing D&D at one of their tables, and then you cheated on that roll. So, I did not. You did so. Well, this dice is weighted. Who are you calling a weighted dice user? I'm calling you a weighted dice user. Bottle smashing over the head. Yahoo! Chairs, bang bang. It was in the sort of the gaming end of the whole thing. No one even looked up. But I have to say, Gencon this was Gencon in Milwaukee, the good place. It had I think the coolest bar I've ever been to. Now, this is many years ago, so there was an unwritten code that you didn't come out and say this, but I think after 40 years, I think the word's out. So this place was called The Safe House, and essentially only the game designers really knew about it. And the thing was, you don't tell Gen Pop, unless they're like really, really, really amazingly kind of cool Gen Pop, that this was there, because it was kind of like the place where all the game designers went to once the doors closed. So this thing was set up on a kind of 1930s film noir spliced with kind of a Maxwell Smart theme. It's a kind of a super spy bar. Now, there was two ways into it. If you'd been there before, I think if you were a paid member, you got a number. There was just a blank warehouse wall that had a phone booth. Yeah, this is just middle of nowhere, just down like an alley, just an old car park. If you went into the phone booth and dialed the number that you'd been sent, it was a cool special effect, but it was designed to make it look like the phone booth was an elevator going down into the ground. What they actually had was essentially the floor would jig under you, and they had kind of scrolling brickwork and so on, so it looked like you'd gone down, and then door would open and you're in the bar. However, If you didn't have that knowledge, there was just a plain door, just nothing on it. If you went through that door, suddenly you're in this kind of walnut paneled kind of 1930s office, and there's a desk and chairs. There was a wooden Indian. There was like an old kind of cigarette vending machine. Pull the drawer out kind of vending machine. A couple of paintings on the walls. Stuffed owl, these sorts of things. But there were TV monitor cameras around. Now, somewhere in there was secret panels and triggers that would finally open a door into the bar, but you had to search and find it. And it changed from week to week. So it could be you pull down the arm on the wooden Indian, or one of the drawers or buttons on the cigarette vending machine, or there might be a button under the edge of the desk, or maybe underneath the owl, or turn the owl's head. So you'd search. But the thing is, if you got the wrong ones, things happen. Alarms would go off, cold air would blow, these sorts of things. The TV cameras are transmitting to cameras in the bar where everyone can watch the antics of the people trying to get into the bar. And eventually a wall would slide open when you got the right thing, and in you'd go. And this thing was just absolutely fabulous. All the waiters and waitresses are all kind of in cool spy gear. The gals are all berets and miniskirts and cat's eye glasses, or perhaps they're sort of dressed in slinky black evening gowns, or perhaps they're in Russian uniform, my comrades, or what have you. Same with the guys. All the waiters are sort of 0070 sorts. There were little trains that could pop out of the walls and deliver you drinks. Drinks could just come out of like hatches in the wall. They just kind of it was that whole kind of cool spy thing. But they had a drink, and it was called Hail to the Chief. If you were a newbie, you'd never been there before, this is what everyone else would play on you. So we walk in, and luckily I was with one of the other Australians who was like a slightly pasty, sort of slightly nervous guy. And so we sit down, and the waiter comes over, and everyone's ordering drinks and whatever, and says, we have new people in the bar. And the people I'm with say, yes, actually, points at my friend, we'd like to order this gentleman a Hail to the Chief, please. Hail to the Chief. And this kid sort of, well, what's that? What is that? House specialty. Hail to the Chief. Hail to the Chief for this guy. Thank you, sir. Off this guy goes. Okay, so you sit there talking for a minute, and then suddenly these two bruises turn up, someone's welded two separate gorillas together just to make each of these guys, and they're just looming over my friend. Like, excuse me, sir, you'll have to come with us. What? This is bar security. Oh dear, what have you done? They sort of walk this kid off out of a door, wondering what's going on. And then suddenly you get this, these alarms go off, flashing lights, diddly, spotlights go down onto a section of the floor, and the speakers start playing, dun 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 dun. Hail to the chief, he's the chief that we say hail to. And what? A section of the floor slides across. My friend rises up out of the floor, sitting on a chair, which is on like a pneumatic lift, with all these, everyone looking at him, all these spotlights. Dun 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 dun. A waiter comes up and hands him a cocktail. He drinks the cocktail. Once he's finished, dun 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 dun, he sinks back through the floor, and the floor closes. Absolutely fantastic place. I wonder what ever happened to it, because that was just the most wonderfully screwed up bar I've ever been in. Just hands coming out walls, like delivering your drinks, was such a cool touch. I went there, like some of the people you meet, like Janelle Jaquays and so on, made such great friends. But there was some screwed up stuff at that convention, I have to say. We'll name names. Weiss and Hickman are there. And, I was just starting out as an author, but you got to remember, I'm kind of best as pals with, people like Terry Pratchett and this sort of thing. And, have spent a lifetime working with famous people. Weiss and Hickman have got this thing where they're signing their books, but they've got this huge kind of fake castle set up. And the thing was set up, you don't get to talk to them. You don't get within about 50 feet of them. If you want a book signed, there's a table at the front. You can't bring your own book. You've got to purchase one, so they make money off it. They've got an assistant there. He's got a piece of paper. He says, what do you want written in the book? But you can only have a set number of words. So, to Bob, best regards. You can have like 4 or 5 words max. This gets written out. This guy then walks down this long carpet. Vice and Hickman are up on like a dais. Another assistant is up there. He comes down the steps. First assistant hands him the book with the written request. Second one takes it up to these people who are at such an elevated level or something. They write it. It's taken to the other side by another assistant, who passes it to another assistant, who brings it forward to this person who's getting the book signed, who can then piss off. It was the most stunning demonstration of crazy ego I've ever seen. By comparison, it's like Terry and I hanging out at a convention, both of us, people just run up to us with books. Hey, could you sign some of these for us? Yeah, we'll just do it for you just while we're standing there. So it was really weird. But when I started turning up, some of the comic artists that I know started deciding, hey, this is a new con, might be a new audience, and started turning up. We set up at 1. And there's this kind of a girl setting up opposite. And she's there with her mother, as it turned out. And they were struggling picking up books. And, hey, there's a bunch of Australians over here. We do what Australians do. Run over and help you carry the heavy stuff. Hey, we sort of got to know them as we're setting up the day before. They seem nice people. We kind of saw them going past at dinner. Hey, how you doing? Sit in the lobby and say hi. Where are you guys from? Oh, you're from right here. Oh, you run a secondhand bookstop. Oh, okay, fantastic. But the next day, as we're getting ready for the convention to open, the guys who run the art show, who are great people, I loved those guys, loved them. But they came running over to me and just said, you know a lot of the comic book people, don't you? I said, well, yeah, I sure do. Right, we've had a comic artist put some stuff up in the art show, and this art, because this is a Games Con, this is like sort of it's kind of a PG convention. There's like, lots of barbarians in space bikini kind of art, but we've set some stuff that's kind of beyond the pale. But because there seems to be someone from a different genre, we'd be willing to maybe make a separate section of the art show for them, maybe make a separate one. But we just want to ask you, is this kind of like completely out of the pale for a comic convention? Oh, okay, come and have a look at it. They take me to the art show and I wander in, and there's this artwork, and as I come around the corner, it just strikes you in the face like a fist. Right up, here is a picture of a female character, stark naked, back to you, bent over, and it was like one of my characters from one of my novels. Sandri from my Fangs of Karth novel that was out at the time. So it's like, but the way this character has been drawn, the body and kind of the face and everything, it's like, you see he's done 3, 4, 5 pictures of this character, all of this sort, but you look, oh my God, that's the girl from the secondhand bookstore table across from it. Has to be the model for that. Has to be. So I said, okay, this is one of my characters from one of my novels. I'm going to say straight up, I strongly object to nude art of one of my characters being sold openly, at a convention. No, I'm really not happy with this. And so, oh, that's enough for us. So, no. There may be some other problems. Could you pardon me? I've just got to bring someone else in here. So I had to run off to this girl and just say, look, I don't know how to bring this up, but there's an artist. He's put like nude artwork in the art show, and I don't know how to tell you this, but I think it's nude artwork of you. And she was like, Mike! Yeah, she knew the guy, and she goes storming off. Oh my god. That got kicked out in a huge hurry. But there was this other guy. Let us call him James. And so my friend Bruce, of whom I've spoken, he turned up. And there was this artist, James. Now, James did some comic books filled with nude women. And they were funny, you know, girly comics. And he did a lot of art with this. But these female characters were always the same build. Always, always, always the same build and same cast of face. Now, how do I describe this politely? This wasn't just nudie art. This was stuff that was gynecologically correct. Like, holy moly. And, yeah, great, fine. I've just never seen these parts of the human body drawn with such staggeringly loving attention before. And all you could do as you looked at it is you knew this is drawn live. This guy has a live model. And man, but she's cooperative. So Bruce comes to help me set up, and we can see James is here. He's setting up a table, and he has an older woman with him. But one look at her, and it's like, holy cow, that's the model. That's her. The exact build, the exact shape of face. You know, that's her. Says, oh well, and they're racking out stuff. They haven't got like the full-on nudie stuff out. They've got some sense of preservation, but they've got it under the table for sale. You betcha. But it's like, oh, well, she's pretty upfront about it. Okay, that's great. I mean, I'm happy if she's happy, and that's fantastic. But as I'm setting up my booth, Bruce just goes over there just to chit-chat and say hi to these people. And I'm just kind of like, racking up, you know, books for display or something, and Bruce comes racing over, just grabs me by the arm, just round the corner. Get around the corner. What? Now, I mean it, round the corner. What is it? And he drags me around the corner. I've just been talking to her. Oh, the model? That is the model, right? Yes, that is the model. Oh, so what is she, just like is that his girlfriend? No, that's his mother. and you go, what? No, it's look, no judgment. That is definitely the woman in the artwork. That is his mother. This got quite funny because Bruce is older than I am, and he's about the same age as this guy's mother, so he'd be over there later on. He's just chatting with her, and so you're from out of town, this, that, and everything, and so what are you doing for dinner tonight and everything? And there's James like drawing, looking up, and Bruce Lee, oh yeah, I'm totally hitting up on your mother. keep drawing. But, oh god, those days were because you'd go from convention to convention to convention. You'd be exhausted because things like, so Gencon, I've told this one before, but attend. There was a guy called Phil Morrissey, artist. He did a lot of games artwork back in the day, and he had the most sort of beautifully, thoughtfully written letters that he would send me pre-internet days. We would correspond. And I'd met him, but he said, hey, let's share a hotel room at Gencon. He says, okay, let's do that. All right, well, look, my table is like D21, so just find me there on day one, because he was turning up on day one rather than the day before. And I'll just make sure I've got extra keys and so on, and I can give you a key to the room, and we can all go back together that evening, and etc. So great. So I'm sitting there selling games or whatever. You seen Jurassic Park? Yep. Of course you have. Yes, the drink next to me on the table, suddenly the surface of it, what's that? What's that? What's going on? Suddenly, the sun is eclipsed. Oh! I look up, there's this guy looming over the table. Monstrous. Like, this guy was towered over me, head and shoulders over me, this huge guy. Massive, broad shoulders. Long, straggling ginger hair. He is wearing a Acapulco shirt. He's got lederhosen on. He's got runners with blinking LED lights in them. He's wearing an alpine hat with a peacock feather sticking out of it, with a tiger skin headband that's also got blinking LED lights in it. He's wearing cat's eye glasses, but they're Dame and Nerich ones, so they've got, like, rhinestones all over them and everything. Turns out, yeah, this guy's got this Springfield, Missouri accent, and just looms over the table and says, "Hi there, I'm looking for a real loud asshole, Polly Kid." That's me. And you're Phil. That's right, we are going to be roommates. Yeah, he was an artist. His day job was he was a wrestler. And he was just this huge, muscle-bound, loud, funny as crap wrestler. So, yeah, you got to get the coolest roommates. I've done an anecdote on Phil. It's worth looking for. He was an absolute riot. But one of the things about these conventions was there was no cult of celebrity in the 80s and 90s. You just got to mingle with people. So from that convention, you'd bounce on, go to Comic-Con, set up a little table and whatever. Now, being Australians, we would, of course, loot the room. You take the microwave, and if there's a bar fridge, you take the bar fridge, put it on the trolley. Whee! Just put do not clean the room. We don't need it hanging off the hanging off the door of the room, because we're keeping drinks in a fridge underneath the table at San Diego Comic-Con, and you're supposed to pay for power, but there are people who clean this thing, so the pillars all have PowerPoints in them. So we just ran a power cord to one of these pillars, and we're running a fridge. And so we just went to the people at the tables on either side of us and said, "Hi, by the way, we've got a little fridge here, and we've got like a little cooker, and I think someone's brought a little toaster oven. So if you guys want to keep cold drinks in there, we've got spares, by the way. Help yourselves. We're Australian. No one goes thirsty. But there's actually like a little corner store outside. Don't pay for convention prices. You can bring well, in Australia, it'd be pies, pasties, sausage rolls, whatever you guys do, cold burgers, burritos, whatever. You can heat them up in the microwave, or you can do toasted cheese in the little toast maker we've got there. You can do all that. Just please help yourselves. Now, wow. But the guy we're telling this to, who's the table next to us, he looks, goddamn, he's familiar. Goddamn, he's familiar. An older gentleman, yeah. Wait. You're Batman. Yeah. It's Don West. Don West? Adam West, sorry. Don West is from... Yeah. Lost in Space. Yeah, Adam West. Batman. Batman is next to us. The loud guy at the table on the other side of me, Sergio Agones. Made friends for life with both of those. But opposite us, there's this table, and it was just like a secondhand bookstore table again. It's just crowded with people just dropping by to say hi all the time. Couldn't quite figure out why secondhand books are so popular. They didn't seem to be rare ones, but the guy running the table, we could never quite see him because there's always someone there having a chat with him. But when like one of the big convention panel things is on, the floor empties out, so the guy there comes over to talk to us. So he wanders over, and he wants to apologize because people have been dropping by the table and might have been blocking access to some of our tables a bit, and it turns out it's Mark Hamill. Mark Hamill would run a secondhand bookstore just to have an excuse to sit down and chat with people. So, oh shit, he drags the table over, and okay, I'm gonna spend an afternoon having a chat with Mark Hamill. We set up, we saw some guys struggling with speakers, and they were having a bad time, race over, and we'll help you. Where are these going? They're going into the auditorium. Says, we got nothing to do. We've already started. We'll help you guys. You're struggling. Turns out, the band we're helping is Barnes and Barnes. Fish heads, eat them up, num, yum. So it's like, okay. I think I just helped Will Robinson set up his band. No celebrity cult, which was kind of a groovy thing, and very, very useful if you are a struggling young artiste, because you get to find editors or just ask the advice of people pretty easily. But crazy times. But so you'd go from one convention to another, but there was a 1 week gap before the last one, and this was important because those first two you're doing in a bit of a rush, which is fine, but then you kind of needed that week to wander around and just do something. Find some friends. We're just going to stay in LA. We're going to drive out to Vasquez Rocks, see where Kirk Fort Lagoon, that sort of thing. So you get a little bit of a kind of a break and a holiday and whatever. And I was actually hurting because I'd be laughing so much over this 4 week thing. I'd actually have like stitches because you'd be laughing so much at what these bastards do. But this guy, Andrew, who'd come over with us, the long, tall, thin guy who got hailed to the chief, at that first Gen Con, he met up with a bunch of Canadians, and these guys were doing a party hardy thing, but they'd found a couple of small micro conventions that were like going over the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday of a couple of weeks. So he kind of abandoned us. I'll meet you at these key ones we're going to. You know, from Gen Con, we're going to like San Diego, going to Worldcon. Yeah, he's going to go with these guys to these minor conventions. Now, so he's going Friday, arrive at a convention, party hardy with everybody, drink. Convention, Saturday, Sunday, yak, 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 yak. Monday, fold up, get onto a plane to go with these guys to arrive that night at another convention things for these little midweek mini conventions, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday on a plane, arrive basically in time for the next big convention. So he just had 4 weeks of endless convention with just punctuated by plane rides in between. We met up by the time it got to the final one, which was Welcome. Andrew is like pale white. He hasn't slept, over 4 weeks. He's just done nothing but party and laugh with everybody. But I think his diet has just been raw alcohol and the occasional, like, I don't know, packet of chips. That's about it, because he's just been like, and he was just like running the sweat and kind of moaning softly. We get him on the plane and he's so to go home, and he was so kind of hyped up. He couldn't sleep on the plane. He was just like, but looking ashen. And of course we get off the plane. He said, I just want to go home. I just want to go home and sleep. I just want total darkness. I don't want any noise. I just want to sleep. We get to customs. Yeah. Customs see pale swaying guy running a sweat, long hair and everything, with these kind of ill-packed bags and clothes that look like they've been slept in for 4 weeks, and they just go, drug abuser. Home in on this, go and take him out to search. Give him a cavity search and just tear his legs just ready. No. I think we actually hung around waiting for him, and I think it was like 3 hours before they finally let him out of there. Oh God, them days. Anyway, Gen Con experiences, a wild and wacky place. Damn, that bar in Milwaukee was good. Anyway,